Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Happy Easter to all of those of you Easter people who are celebrating Easter today. And I want to really zoom in and focus in on a very important topic of healing that it comes to really kind of moving successfully through a relationship with a toxic, negative, judgmental, critical, or really some person who does not have your best interests in mind, but who really has become quite a derailing influence to you and your life. And I'm just going to make sure that we have this like glove over the microphone, because I know sometimes we get some wind. So hopefully this is working and hopefully you can hear me okay. I really want to focus in back into the topic of abundance. And we hear a lot of talk of abundance in life, and oftentimes I feel that people who are wounded, who have psychological complexities, be it depression, be it anxiety, be it these issues, feeling of self-doubt, low self-esteem, not being able to perform at their best, having lost time or talent or connections through the work of their work with a narcissist or a narcissistic family member or a narcissistic boss, and they're feeling really that it has impacted their earning ability as well as their professionalism or their professional standing in a company. I know a lot of people have encountered, through my emails and through the comments, there's a lot of people who have suffered at the hands of financial loss due to a narcissist in their life. And if you can realize that oftentimes this is the narcissistic win, if they can make you feel like a viewer so aptly said, like S double T, basically that they have won, and that this oftentimes includes attacking you and your earning ability. And if you have had enmeshment with this person, an overlap of energetic boundaries, then maybe your finances tumbled along with them. And so how do you really pick yourself up? How do you dust yourself off? How do you get back into that excitement for life again? How do you really begin to reformulate your vision? How do you begin to be in touch with your earning power once again? If you have felt so attacked in the solar plexus, if you have felt so depressed, you felt that you've given up hope, you've felt that there's really nothing left for you, your life is never going to be able to go anywhere because of this. Well, that is strictly a very common assessment and interpretation of a relationship after incurring narcissistic abuse. And I encourage you and implore you to emphasize the law of abundance in life, and that really when you focus on abundance, your abundance grows. And look here at these flowers. Notice here that there's not one, that there is many. If you look here at this huge tree, this is springtime, but there are thousands and thousands of acorns here. I mean, if we can just look in the ground, there are so many acorns, from this one tree. And this one tree is probably at least 300 years old. Okay, so it's taken time and maturity for this tree to be this strong, this sturdy, have the strongest of roots, and to produce the abundance of acorns that are in this area around this tree. And that is the testimony, that is the testifying of really the law of really this planet. And if you look into, this area, there are not one trees, there are thousands of trees. If you look at the flowers here, there is not one flower, there are thousands of flowers. And it spreads out into this nature's canvas here in this forested area. So I encourage you to remember that, like, your life is like seasons. Maybe you live in an area where there's one season all along, but in this area where we have the 4 seasons, really life seems to shut down. There's a winter to the seasons where everything is frozen over. Everything is, laid dormant. Everything is appearing dead. It's not pleasant outside. It's extremely cold. It's uninhabitable. So, oftentimes I would say the experience with a narcissist oftentimes brings like a winter of your life. It's a freezing of your emotions. It's a very unpleasant time. It's when things become frozen, stuck, stifled, bitter. You know, all the adjectives that you might think of with the season of winter. But if you can think of it like a gessoed canvas, and if you're familiar with gesso, gesso is the original priming paint that a painter will lay on their canvas, or like when we say an open canvas, you need to prepare it and you need to have gesso. And and gesso is like a white, it's like a white sort of priming paint. And I do use a lot of analogies here on the channel, and whoa, there goes my Easter hat. Hold on. No, we're not editing this out. We're keeping this in. And gesso, because you don't need to be perfect. It's about being real here. And so when we talk about setting up really kind of a foundation, a vision for your life, realize that the subconscious mind needs to be primed with gesso. So when you think about winter, when you think about the blanket of snow, if maybe, I know some of you are international, maybe you've never really been around snow, but realize that it's like it creates a white, basically everything is covered in white. Everything is frozen, and it's really kind of a purifying of a lot of the toxic germs, molds, spores, things of this nature which are in the Earth's surface. So think of your experience, your depression, your anxiety, kind of the beginning part of, I need to make a change here in my life, as that time to prime your mind and clean the slate and really kind of look at your life like a gessoed canvas. Right now you're just cleaning. You really, really need to prime that canvas. You really need to get gesso on there, a layer of primer, which is all, brilliant white light. And if you can think of your life in that format, where every nook and cranny of that canvas, if you look at it like a burlap canvas, your life needs to be infused with that pure white light, which is just your higher, it's an awareness of your higher self, and that is what's going to be called on for your healing journey. And you might say this is a little bit out there, peace and harmony, but I really want you to understand this, because you really need to flood your own being with that white light, which is that purity, which is the positivity, which is your life purpose, which is your higher self, which is trying to guide you onto the better part of your life. And really begin to, look and realize that you have that potential for your life moving forward. And when we talk about your earning power, you need to lay out that new blueprint, that vision of abundance moving forward. And realizing that what you have within you cannot ever be taken by a narcissist. The I am is something that you own, and they can never have access to. That is your personal power, that is your empowerment, and that is your gift, that is your passion for what you enjoy and what you love in life. And if you're allowing them to keep you down, stuck, and really sort of unproductive, then you have to say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm hitting rock bottom. I'm at the beginning, I'm feeling at the bottom of my life. I'm now going to go and I'm going to figure out how I can get back on my earning power, no matter what it takes, no matter what I need to do. Do I need to take a class? Do I need to connect with new people? Do I need to get up off the couch? Do I need to, enroll in some classes? Do I need to, develop my passions? Do I need to, maybe get into cooking? How can I, bring this out into my life and really begin to connect with that inner generosity, that inner knowing, that inner productivity, which you can then use to help you to reformat perhaps a new career, a career change, a reinvention of you, your soul, and that will also give you a focus on the abundance. And coupled with that healing power, realize that you don't have to do it as a way to get revenge on them, but because it is your life purpose and your happiness. It's peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. And I take my hat off to all of you who are on this healing journey. Love you. Happy Easter.